Okay, so we're continuing our story here in Guild Wars 2, walking through Living World Season 2, and we're in Arcana Obscura. I'll show you where that is in Hero Profile. Story Journal. And so this is the last episode of Living World Season 2, the point of no return. And what's been happening is the Pale Tree was attacked by the opening roots of Moder Moth's vines, and the Pale Tree seems responsible for guarding the dream, and the dream is that which the Savari live in until they are um, grown into this world. Too. So what happened was she withstood the attack and defended the dream, but the avatar of the tree was actually wounded in some way, and she's unable to communicate as she normally did, just having a normal conversation with the character, with the commander. And she gave my character 4 memory seeds, and I've been going around seeing the memories of Kaith, who is one of the main characters, and what she's done is to run off with the good dragon, Glint, Glint's only child, Glint's egg, and she's taken off with it, and the Pale Tree wants me to witness her memories to see why. Oh, and we have a new build available, but I think we can get to that story in an hour, so we'll do that in a second. Alright, so here we go. Oh, and so as an added bonus, we're doing here is it's April Fool's, and so we're drinking our Chatoyant elixirs, which make cats appear everywhere, and when you click on a cat, you get some combat bonuses. I'm hoping to click on enough cats, something cool happens, but we'll see. So you'll hear the cats meowing. Here we go on this cat, and might boost for 10 seconds, which is all right. So this is from Marjorie Delacroix. She's been going around with me to see. Well, she doesn't get to witness the memories. You actually play as Kaith when you plant a seed, and so we're in the point where we're trying to find the area to plant the 4th seed, but it's behind a chamber with 2 cobra heads that are pointed away from each other, which I think is a very interesting symbol. All right, about the symbol. Ogden believes he may know the origin of the symbol we found at the rock wall. He wants us to come to the priory to see him. Maybe he can help us figure out how to open the portal through the rock. I want to thank you, too, for taking me on this journey. Oh, interesting. You only have to touch the cats. You don't have to. So we've got, should we get, yeah, 15 stacks of might. That's pretty cool. All right, maybe you can help us figure out how to open the portal through the rock. I want to thank you, too, for taking me on this journey to find Kaith. It's keeping my mind off Belinda. I know I haven't been myself lately, but thanks. So here we are in the Derman Priory. This is really one of the more epic depictions of magic in the. Right, and there's, I don't know exactly what you can do here, but there's some interesting things you can, some combinations, and sort of like the what do you call it, the Mystic Forge. Anyways, let's go to the story. And I'm just going to pop out real quick, make sure everything's recording. Okay, good. Balderdash. Yeah, you know, this is a game for me. It's a word my father used to use all the time. He used to say balderdash. It means BS. Alright, speak to the sous chef, Seymour Oxborn. Here he is. Commander, Chef Robertus told me to leave the wards open for you and Miss Delacroix. She's already inside, so step through when you're ready. The storage room is unlocked. Thanks. So, all right, through the fire. Boom. And this is a really amazing library. This cat's.
I drew Ogden a sketch of that symbol we
No,
saw.
I just saw that
He thinks
Seth
the
Rogen
fire
tweeted out that he had.
can help us dispel
Let's
the
listen to
magic
Mark.
that's locking us out of the cave. If we're lucky, it'll lead us closer to Cave and Glint's egg.
All right,
Ready
so
when you are, boss. Ogden's waiting for us inside. Lead the way.
all right, so we're going to find out more about this egg, who turns into Marjorie, not Marjorie, turns into what's her name, Aureen. And get to go on an adventure with our season, well, in Path of Fire and season 4. All right. Oh, so what I was saying about Seth Rogen, he watched the movie Cats, and I don't know what he was on at the time, but apparently he was having quite the experience. And one of the reasons why he was having such a profound experience watching the movie Cats was because of the size differences that the cats portrayed in the movie. I haven't watched it yet, but I have seen the Broadway musical 4 times. My mother drugged me off to see it when I was a child over and over again. But I'm actually glad she did.
Already filled me in. Shame about the Master of Peace and the egg. It seems a magic barrier stands between you and your quarry. It belongs to the Forgotten.
I know the symbol. The Forgotten were ancient and powerful snake beings. Interesting. That's the well, you see this later when in the first expansion, Thorns, Heart of Thorns, and in the Heart of Thorns expansion, you get to go to Auric Basin, and in Auric Basin, there's a bunch of beings that remember the Forgotten. The Forgotten were ancient and powerful snake beings, very similar to in appearance to the Crate, and the Krates are kind of like Naga, big serpent beings in the water, but far more advanced in intelligence. They wielded great magic. This is their symbol. It is known as the Forgotten Seal. I've seen something like this before in an ancient tome here in the Priory. Based on Miss Delacroix's description, I'd say you found a slot for one of their seals. Savari once inserted a golden seal to trigger the cave's portal to open. Yes, that would make sense. According to my records, they were sometimes used as keys, among other things. I presume the key now is lost? I don't have it. What should I do? Perhaps we can override the magical lock. I have read of a way to reproduce divine fire. Divine fire? It's extremely dangerous, and you'll only get one shot, but the divine fire could influence forgotten magic. What is divine fire? The humans' benefactors enchanted their favorite humans with their magic. Who are the humans' benefactors? Those 6 gods, maybe? Perhaps even with their own essence. No one knows for sure. It allowed the human access to hidden places. It could kill you. Yeah, I'm not a human, I'm a Sylvari. This is important. I must go into that cave. Very well. It's your death. Since you insist on continuing, go up to special collections and find the tome about the gods and divine fire. Your journey starts within its pages. Thank you. Find it.
I'll provide help when I can. Otherwise, I'll remain here, quietly judging your progress from afar.
Yeah, well, the dwarfs in this game aren't really present, right? It's like they died out a long time ago or something. And if you want to create a parallel between these guys and the Lord of the Rings dwarfs, they do have many of the same characteristics. They are miners and diggers, and they find a lot of ancient knowledge in this game. Oh, that's my mini. This big old fat cat. There we go. Alright, so where are we going? Search for the tome, okay. Catching lots of cats. Cats. Be cool if there's an achievement or something like that. In here somewhere.
First things first.
Uh-oh.
Let's find a book on the Forgotten.
Find a book. Books are good. Lots of books here. Magics. Beginning.
Here's a section on arcane magic.
Here's the section on arcane magic. It says Spirit. This guy. He was examining the book. Okay, this book discusses the theory that one can bind a ghostly spirit to a material object. It's unable to prove that this is possible. This massive book is entitled Fire of the Gods, History and Structure of the Trials of Ascension. So, how to make your soul. It's well worn with dog-eared pages and dozens of bookmarks. Good book. Take the book. Alright, we got the book. Let's go. Stone healing.
Fast as the wind.
What you got on? Let's take a look at these markings. Interesting. Are you familiar with Ascension? Long ago, there was a process that allowed Tyrian humans to draw power from their magical benefactor. What more can you tell me about Ascension? It's a human ritual that allowed them to commune with their ancient benefactors. Humans called them gods. Those who successfully performed it received power and knowledge. Oh, so this is sort of ancestral. It's cool. How is this tied to the symbol in the Silver Waste Cave? Forgotten served those same masters, the old. Okay, so we have this race of snake beings that are forgotten. They served gods, but we just heard that the old gods are not really gods, they're memories of those who have lived in the past. And do you think the Forgotten are inside the cave? Doubtful, though one never knows. It's believed that the last of them disappeared long ago. So what do I need to do? Well, you won't be ascending. Well, that's a shame. Well, that's okay. We got some fun to do still. But the ward keeping you from entering the cave is undoubtedly similar magic, since the Forgotten were servitors of those beings. That is good news. Good news? Does that mean there's bad news? Nothing I didn't predict. There's a wax seal in this book, bearing a symbol like the one Delacroix drew. If destroyed, it initiates a series of events. Well, sounds like a seal from the Book of Revelation. I'm not sure exactly what will happen. It's not very comforting. If I'm right, you will encounter an echo of Turai Osa. But don't get ahead of yourself. To ensure success, you will need to find 3 relics with ties to Osa. We have some around here. Who was Turai Osa? A long dead memory, I'm afraid. The man led a pilgrimage from Elona to the Crystal Desert to seek ascension, but he and all of his followers failed. Now this is interesting because ascension is a term that is hijacked by the Lich Paloa Joko, who you on. Yes, and he gives a false ascension by resurrecting the dead and giving them eternal life in their decaying corpse form. Sounds like a lich to me. And we're going to talk to him. If I'm right, you will encounter an echo of Turai Osa, but don't get ahead of yourself. To ensure success, you will need to find 3 relics with ties to Osa. We have some around here. Okay. What can you tell me about Ascension? This is a human ritual that allows them to commune with their ancient benefactors. Yeah, okay, so we read that. Alright, let's go look. So there's a relic around here. Good map, old model. Like maps. Like Bilbo, we like maps. Shows the route to Turai Osa and is route that Tarayosa and his pilgrims took from Malona to the lands of Palawa. Yeah, there we go. Palawa Joko. Tarayosa himself made the notes in the map. Take the map.
Magical wards have been used throughout history to contain threats or lock intruders out.
What's this business? Some red earrings. What's with those? What do we need? Oh, oh, oh.
At least he's on our side.
Stairs. Okay, yeah, I can see this upstairs. Kitty. Kitty. Right. Okay. Carcass shell. Scholars have been studying this chunk of carcass skull on the journal. The table of scholar theorizes about its composition. Not helpful. The alien seat. There. Archaic hammer. Resembles the weapons built in Tarayosa's era, but everyone knows that Tarayosa wielded an iconic sword and shield. It's the kitty. Oh. Chest. Chest smells faintly of exotic spices and mold, and there's nothing. It's okay. Let's see what else. Kitties. Something above me. Is it up somewhere? Right. Yeah, let's go upstairs.
Fast as the wind.
It's painting. Volcanic event. Volcanoes all the time. Armageddon. Not Corona, Armageddon. Alright. According to its label, this item bears the symbol of the white mantle. Although from the time when humans sought ascension, it's not connected to Tarayosa.
I think I saw a book on ancient history over here.
How does anyone get to that? Creative and do Super Mario. Yep. Lord Valador, a warrior who accompanied Tarayosa to the Crystal Desert, wrote this journal. He reportedly recovered Tarayosa's body after Rosa fell in battle. Oh, gee. Down to this last circle then. This tree grow? There's no light. Alright.
Ogden said we should check the
Candlelight
fence.
tree. Yeah, okay, more red earrings. Sand. Base. They kicked the time back, interesting. Alright. Basket. Up a level to this. Got that one. Jade. Oh, all this jade. Massive and striking, the slab of jade contains the intact remains of a giant sea worm. It must have come Jade Sea and Kantha. Strange crate. It's like searching for a needle in the haystack. 3 needles. The relics could be anywhere. I really need to talk to someone about organizing the Priory's assets, but you have any idea what they look for? Tarai also lived a long and busy life. Could be anything. I'd suggest we focus on finding things tied to the Crystal Desert alone, or Tariosa himself. We're going to have to do an exhaustive search, but get started. Okay. Let's try again. Mario. Dump. Side. Yeah. Alright.
What's in here?
It's in here. Basket contains a sack full of ashes. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. An inscription on the side of the container claims the ashes belong to Tarioso's son, Nai. Basket.
Nicely done.
Alright, so we got stuff. Let's go.
Fast as the wind.
Don't hear the dwarf.
I am mighty.
There's a cat. These ancient artifacts will do nicely to anchor you. I'll break the wax seal and then give the tome to Miss Delacroix. She can advise you while you complete the challenges. Ready. Do it. This guy. Some ghost. Hopefully Casper the friendly ghost. That guy doesn't look like Casper.
That's him, right there.
Oh. See anybody
Stand
else?
over there, and we can begin the trials.
It worked. That's okay. That's actually Ryosa's ghost. An echo of him, according to the tome. Spell woven by the wax seal must have worked. Did what's next? Let's see. Yes, it says you should accompany the ghostly hero. Its words, not mine. 1 second. Doesn't look like you fight it. The tome implies that you must work with the ghost to protect it. Since you fight the guy that's got your knowledge. Stay close. Some may need more guidance. All right.
My people came to the desert and built a great temple. So while we labored, we were set upon by the stewards of the desert, the forgotten.
Gotten set upon them.
My people. And now another ghost sits upon my throne. I beseech you, help me return to the temple.
We need to help the ghostly hero reclaim his throne. Are you ready? Here we go. I hope this works.
Right. Get some lights. Bounce.
Fury rising. That hurt. I'm fast as the wind.
Some help here. Use skills. Skill. Some buddies. Some staff. This guy down. It's bad.
We're energized.
Whoa, 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 hey.
We need to
Calm
read the
down.
history. If I'm right, you'll receive the enchantment once you've passed all 3 trials.
Did the first trial?
Fast as the wind. 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 Fast
slowly work this progress bar up. Well, things can beat us up probably. Alright. It's there. Heal. Ah, good. Always nice to have a big fat ghost mobs to beat on instead of me, because I have 15k hit points.
What are these things?
Snake. Siege worm echo. Ah, switch. It's this way. Mobs stacked up close together, really good for the thief short bow ability. Yeah, the thief class has been really good for going through the storyline solo without any help, because I came back to this game 6 years after release, and I have to say it is by far and away my favorite in it. Played a lot of World of Warcraft, a lot of EverQuest, and honestly a lot of it just a grind. It's got a lot more character. Ow. There. There. Ow, ow, ow. Let's get some more help here. Use it. Distract mobs. Circle to me, so it's not having to constantly beat mobs down. Stand out there. Stand in. Oi! Rocks. Some healing. Still gaining while I'm not in it. That's right. It's warm.
Fast as the wind.
Almost done. Ah! Some kitty mate. Oi! Oi, 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 oi. Okay, so this is what we do. Things get too hairy in story mode. Let's hide ourselves. And wait. See if we get out of combat. It's always prefer pressing G. Nope. Press G. Oh crud. Oh crud. Got too greedy. Ah, for it. Oh. Alright. Marjorie's here. 5 zones. Just throw daggers. Alright, I know how to do it. Bowing to me. Alright, what's the book say? Boss Tome says the next trial purifying the tainted souls of Osa's army. They got tainted, do they taint themselves? Snakes do it. Alright, let's see this through.
This feels like we've taken a step back in time.
honest, it's just skilled.
Wonderful combination.
On to more important things.
Look out.
Fury rising.
Refreshing. Feel energized.
One goes to back here. Ability 4 with the Daredevil finds full enemies, which is nice. Makes them miss. Instead, we hide. Hiding is nice, it gives the time for your abilities to reset. Sometimes you get a combat. It's gonna happen this time. Oh. Looks like it could have been green. This one right back.
Fury rising. That feels better.
Alright. So we'll wait for combat. Ow!
Rising. I'm fast as the wind.
Buddy's out here again. Just got this. All right.
Now you must be cleansed.
Must be cleansed. Fire. Symbols or something else. Don't really see anything like them. Some of them just look like A+. These honestly look a little bit more made up. You can tell when you find the ones plugged into the human psyche. Staying ahead of things, looks like the next trial is the last one. You'll have to find 3 special vision crystal shards and complete them. So, find them. It doesn't say, but I think your best bet is to start by following the post. Sure.
I am mighty. I'm fast as the wind.
Kitties.
Lastly, to find the crystal shards.
Oh, of course. Stuff.
Make me to resist.
Oh, maybe just stealth through this stuff. Ah, I got out too soon. Blah. Try to kill these things. Okay. chase me so I can on one. Yeah. Nice that this build has some healing built into it, so all you just keep auto attacking. Take out of the way.
Energized.
Okay, it's back. It's my compatibilities. Do I do?
Fury rising. Pressure. Energized.
Ouch. It's interesting. I really feel like the Savari female character voices are backwards. Like, I get beat up and she says that had to hurt. It's not her she's talking. No, what it ought to be is when you crit something else, but it doesn't feel like that's when it happens. Alright. A shard.
Never seen anything like that before.
A touch of divine fire. Still working on it. Looks like it. Oh, maybe it's touch me. Take the torch. Divine fire. It's on the map. A torch. There we go.
I am mighty.
Alright. Torch.
Fast as the wind.
It'll open up our snake cave. Cave of the Forgotten. Kitty! Pump.
Oh, I was right.
The boss passed the trials. We have what we need.
Very good. Be careful on your journey. We don't have any information on what's inside that cave.
It'll be interesting to see how the divine fire interacts with the entrance to the cave. Theoretically, have an effect, though I could be wrong. Take it there and see what happens. This fire is not hot, dangerous. Of course it could. But to whom is the question? For all we know, fire could fade over time. Max's seal is broken and we can't repeat the ritual. Let's get in that cave. It may lead us to Kaith. If I could impart one more piece of wisdom upon you from this ancient noggin of mine, I'd tell you to be careful. Ancient magic changes over time. Stinks. Help. Call me Ogden. Both of you do a lot together. Stand on priory ceremony. See you again soon. As do I. Jory, Bill. Going back to the cave? Yes. Take the torch and go straight there. Again. You want me to take the torch? Yes. I trust you to keep it safe. Alright, stuff. Tome of Knowledge. Egg of Jewels and the money just for story. Alright, well, we'll pick that up next time. Well, let's get minute departure for next. You there.